Harmony Hills Family Ministry Podcast. It's our hope that as you join us in these conversations, you'll feel excited and encouraged to pursue discipleship in your own home. I'm your host, Traci Hall, and today we have our high school minister, Dylan Sandlin. Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
So the purpose of today's conversation is to talk about discipling teens. But first off, just tell us one interesting fact about you that somebody might not know.
One interesting fact. I can tell you that you may not have known me for that long, but I've been here for over a decade working here.
Yeah.
And like your husband,
Yeah.
I love disc golf. And it may be a little bit nerdy, but I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, I hear about it all the time from you and him. So that's cool. Will you tell us a little bit about your role here at the church and what is like your most favorite part of it?
Yeah, of course. So I'm the high school minister at Harmony Hill, right? I've been doing ministry in the student ministry here for 10 years. And so I've been part of our student ministry whenever we had everybody together. I led in the middle school ministry. I currently lead in the high school ministry. I would say my favorite part, and this is, I don't know how this couldn't be your favorite part. It's probably your favorite part too, but seeing the light bulb go off in somebody, in a student's mind to really just accept Christ as Lord and to actually walk in that and to make that a reality of their life. Because, you know, there's a lot of them that are just there for the fun or friendships or whatever. But I mean, whenever it clicks and they're like, I've got to follow Christ, man, that's got to be the best.
Yeah, I agree. It's fulfilling and you get a little bit of relief when it happens because you're like,
Right.
I'm here, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, they heard something from the Bible?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so today as we're talking about discipling teens in the home, let's look back to what did your parents do when you were a kid that helped you get to this point in ministry?
Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian home, right? My mom and dad, they both followed Christ and are both been believers for a long time, since before I was born. And so growing up in the home, one of the biggest things for my home specifically was it was never really a question or an option to go to church. Like if the church was doing something, we were there, right? Looking back to whenever I was a kid, I never woke up on a Sunday morning and thought to myself, I wonder if we're going to go to church today. If I didn't want to go to church as a kid, it was like, I guess my stomach hurts today, right? And then it was like, okay, my mom can see through this. Let's go to church, right? But with my family, it was never an option. So I saw my parents both invested in the church and sitting under biblical teaching and engaging in worship. I saw both of my parents volunteering. My dad even still volunteers in the security team and the tech team. He has as long as I've remembered. My mom, I can remember her volunteering in kids ministry when I was there, and then in student ministry when I was there. And now that I'm leading our student ministry, she's still volunteering in student ministry. But they were always an example of like church is not only about going and being fed and receiving, but it's also about the church showing up to volunteer and help run and operate things in all aspects of the church. So I would say that's kind of what my family from a early age kind of invested into me, was like, you're at church and you're doing church, not just participating in church, if that makes sense.
Yeah. They built the base of this is the first thing, this is the priority, and nothing comes before it. And then what can you do to use the talents that the Lord's given you, the interests that the Lord's given you to serve Him? So that's really cool. So we know, according to Deuteronomy 6, that discipleship starts in the home, like you've experienced. So our parents, hopefully, are discipling at home.
Right.
The church is the, I've heard it said in a seminary class, like we're kind of like the baseball coaches. Like they drop us off. They drop them off with us like for a couple hours a week, right? So how have you built your ministry to complement what parents are doing to disciple at home?
Yeah, so obviously parents are super key in discipleship, right? Just as you said in that illustration. And honestly, I can't remember what the number is, 167 or 187 hours in a week.
Yeah.
I know I said 67, but it's okay. Did that last night preaching too. So But it's one of those two numbers of the hours in a week, and if you take the percentage of the hours in the week that students are at church, it's very small, right? And the percentage that that parents invest, or the opportunity for parents to invest, is way higher. They spend over 40 hours a week with their students, and so I think there has to be a partnership there.
Yeah.
If it's just put on me or put on you or put on Kyle or even the volunteers in student ministry, we're only with those students a small percentage of the time. And so part of my heart is trying to help parents understand that we don't raise the kids, right? Yeah, of course we want to invest truth, and we want to teach about the Bible and how to be a faithful believer. But at the same time, they spend a lot more time at home and under the influence of family than we do. So yeah, it's part of my heart to really invest in parents, and I love to try to help parents that have questions of how do I do that? What does that look like? I love to have those conversations. We've in student ministry, we've had a couple of parent trainings. Not a lot showed up to those, to be honest. But it is my heart to get our parents more engaged and stuff like that, to really understand that they are the person that is teaching biblical truth, and they are the person who's going to have the most influence over their kids.
Yeah. That is something that I think that parents don't quite realize, is that you, Kyle, me a little bit on the student team, like, it's an untapped resource.
Sure.
Because we are here to help. And that I'm hopeful that one of the byproducts of this podcast episode is that they'll realize, like, oh, wait, like, I'm struggling, and I can go to them and they can help me.
Right.
And so.
Yeah, and we do care.
Yeah.
Like, we want to walk through that with you. As much as we love walking through life with your kids, I mean, we want to walk through life with you and your struggles as well. Not that I have teenagers in my home, but I have dealt with a lot of teenagers in their homes, right? And so all of us have experience with that. Yeah.
And this is a side note. I was thinking about this earlier. The minister Dylan before parenthood and the minister Dylan after parenthood, like, your oldest son is 3, youngest is 15 months, right? Like, you seem so much more confident and, like, more well-rounded. And, like, now it's like you see all the kids as, like, potential, like, this could be my son and I need to pour into him. It's, like, been really cool to see just that development in you. You probably didn't even notice that that's happened, but, like, Dad Dylan is, like, I don't know. It's just really cool to see how you've branched out, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
You.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And, like, parents can go to you confidently and know, like, as a parent, one-on-one, you have their best interest at heart.
Right. So. And I mean, watching students and parent relationships has honestly helped me a lot becoming a parent, because I see some of our students, right, that have been poured into by their parents. And I'm like, most of the time, those are the students that are, we'll call them good kids, but really they're the kids that are following Christ and have genuine relationships with Christ that are theirs. And so I've gone to some of those parents, whenever my wife was pregnant, and was like, okay, your kid's awesome. They follow Christ. What did you do? And, a lot of times, the advice was, well, first of all, they've got to make the decision themselves, which is true. But it also comes down to, investing truth and investing the word in those kids constantly, involving them in ministry as well, right? So I think something that's really important with parents and kids, and what I've tried to start doing with my kids, even, at 1 and 3, is if the Lord calls me to do something, I'm going to bring my kids with me to do it, just so they see it and they're used to it, and they just know, like, oh, this is what it's like to follow and serve the Lord. But yeah, so I guess you're right.
Yeah, it's been cool. Okay, so can you think of and tell of, like, a really cool success story of, like, how maybe a volunteer in the ministry has partnered with a parent and something beautiful came out of it?
Yeah, for sure. So I can tell you, I can kind of use this in a couple ways. So I can tell you personally, whenever I was a student, I had a leader that poured into me that was not the student pastor. I loved my student pastors, every single one of them. But I had a volunteer that was super special to me. His name was Ben Clark. I still talk to him a lot. He kind of tiptoed the line of fun and investing in my life a little bit too close sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's part of what attracted me to him, because, man, I had a good time with him. But my parents, I mean, they fully trusted Ben as well. He was my either junior or senior year. I can't remember. He was my shepherd or my life group teacher. And we would go to his house and ding dong ditch him at 1:30 in the morning. And then we would end up staying there playing pool in his living room until 3 in the morning. He had to work the next day. And so, just the kind of the idea of parents being confident in who's leading their kids outside of the student pastor or outside of me, you, or Kyle, just having confidence in who those people are. And so what my kind of, I guess my advice would be is don't assume too much about the leaders that me and you and Kyle trust.
Yeah.
But get to know who they are.
That's a
and
good
so
point.
take some of those, take them to lunch. Who are you? Like, what are you invested? Why do you want to hang out with my kids? You know what I mean? And not that we would put anybody that we didn't trust with the kids, but partner with us, partner with those leaders who are investing in your kids' lives as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point that I haven't thought of, about how that's another person, another resource that can come alongside the discipleship journey. So if we're tied up or if we're in Thailand, you have somebody else that you can call.
For sure.
So that's really cool. All right. So what, other than being available at 3 a.m, what are teenagers looking for in somebody to disciple them, i.e. parents, but also volunteers?
Yeah. So honestly, they're looking for someone who genuinely cares about them. They're looking for somebody who's invested in them. And so here's the thing about discipleship, right? Discipleship's not a Bible study. Discipleship is doing life with somebody, right? And so there are parents that can have teenage kids that are not doing life with them.
Yeah.
That are not emotionally, spiritually invested in that teen. And so I would say what kids look for the most in 2025 is, does this person who's telling me about life, who's giving me spiritual advice, do they care about me? Do they have any clue who I actually am? Because honestly, they're trying to figure it out too, right? And so what I challenge our small group leaders to do, and I think this goes hand in hand with beginning to disciple rather than just leading a Bible study, is I challenge them to show up consistently and inconsistently.
Yeah.
And so, that means on Sunday mornings when they come to their table, I want them to expect you to be there because I want you to be there consistently, leading them, teaching them, investing in them. And along with parents is, whenever they're home, they should consistently expect for you to be investing in their lives. Not you sitting on the couch invested in a movie or the news or on your phone scrolling constantly. That doesn't share with your teen that you care about them.
Yeah.
What does is engaging them in conversation, caring about what happens in their day-to-day life, asking about their struggles, speaking the wisdom that you have as a parent or as a mature believer in faith, speaking that wisdom into their lives. And so the inconsistent part is with our leaders, I want them to show up inconsistently as well. So where does your student or where do your students not expect you to be? I want you to show up there. Not at every basketball game, not at every cheer competition, but show up at one of them. Be there where they're not expecting you. Because when you show up inconsistently, all of a sudden they're like, oh, wow, I didn't expect you to be here. That must mean that you really care about me.
Yeah.
So as a parent, what that looks like is, if you normally have to work during a game or a practice or something, and something happens to where you can break free and get there, instead of taking that time for yourself, take that time to show up in your teen's life where they don't necessarily expect you to be, and be there for them. Now, I know a lot of parents are at every single thing, and that's the majority, right? And so showing up unexpectedly there is is breaking the rhythm a little bit.
Yeah.
So whatever that rhythm is in your home, when you break that rhythm, it might be a little bit annoying sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you start to break that rhythm and invest what really matters, it's going to stick a lot better than, we're going to always pray before we go to bed. Like, that's great, and we should do that. But then I'm thinking deer season right now because it's, fresh and starting.
Yeah.
If you're sitting in the deer stand or going to the lease with your kid, and all of a sudden spiritual conversation breaks out when it doesn't normally do it in that sense, man, it's gonna trigger something in that kid to think, oh, this is real. Like, this is something my father and my mom thinks about on a regular basis. This is something that's more than just Sundays and Wednesdays or prayer before bed. Like, this is something that we should be investing in often. And so I feel like that being consistent and inconsistent with investing in kids is huge.
Yeah. The inconsistency supports the consistency.
Exactly.
And the consistency supports the inconsistency.
For sure.
So that's a great illustration. I also think that, like, being authentic.
Oh, yes.
Like, you don't have to be the cool kid. You don't have to be the cool parent.
Mm-mm.
The amount of girls that I've heard at this church, or not at this church, but so many girls have said, I don't need my mom to be my best friend. I need her to be my mom.
Yeah.
And, like,
There's no doubt.
I don't know what the motivation is behind that, but just be authentically you. And it relieves a lot of pressure off of them to be be authentic as well. So
of course, there's no doubt.
Yeah. All right. So as parents are listening, some of them have been scrolling their phone, or they haven't been consistent, or they have only been consistent and not inconsistent. And they're thinking, like, well, what do I do? Where do I start? Where's a good starting place for somebody?
Yeah. So, it's just like whenever we accept Christ, right? We're not expected to be perfect as soon as we accept Christ, right? And so as soon as you decide, well, I want to invest in my teen, doesn't mean you're going to be perfect.
Right.
But here's the first step is honestly super simple. It's to do it, right? It's to get out of the mindset of, my kid's already 13 or my kid's already 17 and I haven't been doing this so far, so I don't know what to do, and so we'll just continue in the routine. Well, that's not how you do it, right? So you've got to be bold enough to say, all right, I'm going to do this now. Teenagers are a special breed, right? Yeah. Their annoyance meter is very low. Like, it does not take a lot to get on their nerves. And I'm the student pastor and I get on a lot of their nerves, right? But I'll say this, just do it.
Yeah.
Whatever it looks like. Not every home is the same. You've talked about this on multiple weeks. Like, it doesn't look the same in every household, right? Your conversation, the things that your kid is going through, it's not going to be the same as what's going on in every household. So, it's super simple, right? But just to do it.
Yeah.
Like, just to be committed to it and commit to your family and commit to yourself, like, I'm going to do this. Even if my kid seems annoyed by it, eventually they won't be.
Right.
Like, once it becomes normal, it's going to be one of those things that either one, at least they're hearing wisdom and they're hearing truth, even if it annoys them, or it's going to be one of those things that they're like, oh, wow, this is a value of my family. I need to understand this more.
Yeah, that's true. Also, many parents don't realize that in the family lounge, we have conversation cards.
Yeah.
That, I can't remember how many exactly conversation starters and support for those conversations it has. It's like 100 plus. It reaches everything from addiction to loneliness,
Right.
And so parents, like, we have resources to support them.
Right.
So come by the family lounge on Sunday and we can hook you up with that.
For sure.
All right. One last question.
Okay.
Is there anything left that you want to say that I haven't asked about? Did we cover it all?
Oh, did we cover it all? Probably not.
Did we cover enough?
I think we did. Like I said a minute ago, I know, like, that last part is a super simple thing. Like, you ask, like, what do? You just do it.
Yeah.
I know that may not be super encouraging, right?
Right.
But it really is the first step. Like, just do it. I'll just kind of add to what Traci said. The conversation starters are huge. I was with one of our high school students at Taco Bell last night, right? And this random guy comes and sits by us waiting on his order. And the Lord just put on my heart, like, we need to share the gospel with this guy. And let me just get to the end of the story. We didn't get to, but he says something about working in the secular world. And I started the statement, oh, well, I work at a church, to lead into like, do you go to church anywhere? Can we talk about this? And as I said, I work in a church, his name's called, and he's like, goes and gets his food and leaves. Well, I look back at the high school student, I didn't even think he probably heard what I was trying to transition to. And he goes, I heard what you were about to do. And I was like, I was trying, man. But that's like with our students is the same way as like, man, we're talking about baseball, or we're talking about this vacation we're on. Like, how do I get to like what I really want to be investing in the kid? It's those communication or those talking points and those cards in the family lounge that have talking points. It's just like, it makes it easy for you to do the step that I was talking about and just do it, right?
Start.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. I really think that this has been a cool episode that parents are going to get a lot out of. So thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.